The year is 1200 BCE. The world of the Late Bronze Age is a tapestry of powerful empires, intricately connected by trade, diplomacy, and shared culture. From the grand palaces of Mycenaean Greece to the formidable heartland of the Hittite Empire in Anatolia, and south to the eternal kingdom of Egypt, civilization flourished. Great ships laden with copper, tin, grain, and luxury goods crisscrossed the Mediterranean, weaving a network of unprecedented prosperity. This was a world that felt permanent, stable, invincible. But it was about to be shattered. From the sea, a mysterious and violent confederation of peoples emerged, a storm of fire and steel that would sweep across the ancient world. Egyptian records would give them a name that echoes through history with dread: the Sea Peoples. No one knew exactly who they were or where they came from. They were a coalition of displaced tribes, pirates, and warriors, driven by famine, drought, or the collapse of their own societies. And no empire saw them coming. Their first major target was the mighty Hittite Empire, a superpower that had rivaled Egypt for centuries. The Sea Peoples didn't launch a direct assault on the Hittite heartland. Instead, they employed a devastatingly effective strategy. They attacked the empire's coastal vassals, the vital port cities that fed its economy and supplied its grain. The jewel among these cities was Ugarit, a rich, cosmopolitan trading hub on the Syrian coast. When the Sea Peoples' ships appeared on the horizon, the city was defenseless. Its own fleet and army were away, ironically, defending the Hittite coastline elsewhere. The king's desperate, final communications were found preserved on clay tablets, baked in the very fires that destroyed his city. One desperate plea to the king of Alasya, a nearby kingdom, reads,
"My father, behold, the enemy's ships came. My cities were burned, and they did evil things in my country. The 7 ships of the enemy that came here have inflicted much damage upon us."
The plea went unanswered. Ugarit was burned to the ground, never to be inhabited again. With its trade routes severed and its food supplies cut off, the mighty Hittite Empire, starved and isolated, simply collapsed and vanished from history. Emboldened by their victories, the Sea Peoples then turned their sights on the ultimate prize, the wealthy and ancient kingdom of Egypt. They advanced by land and sea, a pincer movement aimed at the heart of the Nile Delta. But here, they would not find an unprepared king. They would face Pharaoh Ramesses III, a ruler who had watched the world burn and had meticulously prepared for the coming storm. At the historic Battle of the Delta, Ramesses executed a brilliant trap. He allowed the invaders' fleet to enter the mouths of the Nile. Then, the Egyptian navy, hidden in the canals, ambushed them, while archers lined the shores, raining down volley after volley of arrows. The Sea People's ships, designed for open water, were clumsy and outmaneuvered in the narrow channels. The battle was a brutal slaughter. Ramesses immortalized his victory on the walls of his temple at Medinet Habu, showing Egyptian soldiers overwhelming the invaders. Egypt was bloodied, battered, and economically exhausted, but it had survived. The rest of the Bronze Age world was not so lucky. To the north, the sophisticated civilization of Mycenaean Greece, the world of Achilles and Agamemnon, completely collapsed. Their great palaces were destroyed, complex trade networks ceased to exist, and entire populations vanished. Critically, their system of writing, known as Linear B, disappeared entirely. Greece plunged into a centuries-long dark age, a period from which few records survive. So who were these destroyers of worlds? The Egyptian reliefs name several groups: the Shurden, who served as mercenaries for Egypt; the Luca, perhaps from Anatolia; the Shekelesh; and the Peliset, who many scholars believe would later settle on the coast of Canaan and become known to history as the Philistines. Their precise origins and motivations remain one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. They were not a conquering army in the traditional sense. They were a symptom of a world in crisis. What we know for certain is that in a few short decades, they brought a brilliant and interconnected age to its knees, redrawing the map of the ancient world forever.